prepare to race onto the field. Everything is riding on this football game. So there's a special intensity, a special urgency. Here come the Volunteers. Wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee.
What's up, guys? Dane Davis here. Shout out to Boogie Bentley Dauber and the Indie Kid over at Talkin VAWLS Network on YouTube. VAWLS fans, head over to their YouTube channel, Talkin VAWLS Network. Smash that like button and subscribe, baby. Go Big Orange.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Just wanted to drop a quick video today as I saw an article over on 24/7 Sports talking about the transfer portal and ranking the top 150. They put out their final rankings for the 2021 cycle. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, look at where some of these kids stacked up. And look, the reality is the transfer portal, immediate eligibility as long as you enter before July 1st, it is changing the game of college football, whether for the good or for the bad. It is going to change college football. I think now, as we go through a year, we're going to be looking at recruiting kids coming out of high school. You're going to be looking to sign guys before the early signing period. Then you're going to be looking to sign kids on National Signing Day. And then you're immediately going to continue another recruiting cycle, and that is to recruit the kids that are already on your football team. And that's going to be the new college football. You're going to have to recruit kids out of high school. You're going to have to recruit kids that are currently on your roster. And then you're going to have to go into the transfer portal and look to see if you can improve your team there. And I think when you look at Josh Heupel, I think he did a good job when you look at the guys that he has added as far as addressing needs, filling holes, filling voids. I think he did a nice job. But when we look at roster attrition, when we look at expectations for 2021, you got to look at what this football team lost, a team that went 3-7 last year. Now, don't get it twisted. I think this team has way more talent than 3-7. But what I'm saying is you got to look at the roster turnover, and we're going to kind of look at some names and where they stacked up in the transfer portal rankings from 24/7 Sports. But before we get into it, as always, guys, do me a favor. Go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. All you got to do is be signed into a Google account. Press that thumbs up. If you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We ask that you go ahead and subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop new content. And look, we're not experts. We're not insiders. We're just three dudes that love Tennessee athletics. We are just like you, and we want this to be a show where it feels like you're sitting on the back deck, drinking a beer with your buddies, just hanging out, talking a little Vol athletics. So welcome on in. Let's get into it. Let me get the article shared here again. This is on 24/7 Sports by Clint Brewster. College football transfer portal top 150. Final rankings for the 2021 cycle. And again, the 2021 cycle. This is the new college football. This is what we're going to be looking at. And, the reality is it did give us something to talk about, but it also, you talk about kids being entitled. They make a big deal. These kids coming out of high school, top 12, top 10, top 5, top 3, top 2, big events when they commit, and let those kids have their day. But on the flip side of that, if you want to talk about entitlement, I get it. This is just adding to that. This is an easy way out. When the going gets tough, do you stick it out? Does the tough get going, or do you pack up your bags and hit the road? The article here, again, 24/7 Sports, says it's finally time to put a bow on the transfer rankings for the 2021 cycle, while a few more players will trickle through the portal in the next few weeks before it officially switches to 2022 on August 1st. Again, going back here, the recent July 1st eligibility cutoff gives us a natural stopping point. And that's why we're kind of going into the series, the fall of ball football. And I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, but we're going to take you all the way through from the national championship game in 98, what went wrong, the decisions that were made over basically the next 20 years that led to where we are at now. Because there's not a whole lot going on in July, but once fall practice kicks up in August, we'll really get going with coverage for the upcoming 2021 season. But it says the weeks between 24/7 Sports transfer portal top 100 and today's expansion to 150 saw another flurry of activity with coveted players like Jake Smith, Dare Rosenthal making moves. Says there was no shortage of new players to assign grades to. Notre Dame offensive lineman, blah, blah, blah. Let's go on down. This is what I want to talk about. I want to look at the list. Again, they're ranking the top 150 players. And, of course, who's right at the top? Who's right at the top? Number 1 and number 2, when you look at what Tennessee has lost. And you can say what you want. You can talk about Henry T being slow and the inability to cover. And I get it. Henry T, I feel like he went backwards. He took a step backwards last season. Thought he had a great freshman year, very underwhelming sophomore slump. But he is rated as the number 1 transfer. Says proven headhunter at linebacker who should become an even bigger star and probable first-round pick at Alabama. That still makes me sick. And I know a lot of you guys are sick and tired of talking about Henry To'oTo'o. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if Al Wilson just said, well, I can't beat Alabama. I can't beat Florida. I'll just join them. I'll just transfer to our biggest rival. It's pathetic. We talk about entitlement. It's weak. That's a rival. That's Alabama. That is our biggest rival, and you just pack up and head to Alabama. Why? Because it's easier. And the guys over at 24/7 Sports say probable first-round draft pick, should become an even bigger star. Maybe. Maybe not. Will Henry T even start at Alabama? Drop me a comment. Let me know. Will Henry T start at Alabama? You look at the list, number 2, Eric Gray. I loved Eric Gray. Eric Gray would have had a big season. The guys over at 24/7 Sports say glowing reviews from spring practice gave him a bump to RB1, should feast in Lincoln Riley's offense. And again, you look at the turnover, what we lost, both starting linebackers, your number 1 and your number 2 running back. And, a lot of you guys, when I bring that up, the fact that Tennessee lost Eric Gray and Ty Chandler both, you say, well, Ty Chandler sucked. Ty Chandler wasn't that great. If you scroll down the list a little here, you see number 8, Wanya Morris to Oklahoma, former SEC all-freshman player. Gone. Another one gone. But you keep going down the list here. Ty Chandler, there he is, comes in at number 14. So you lost your starting running back and your backup running back. The report on him says experienced running back with the speed to get to the outside of North Carolina's wide open offensive attack that just sent 2 running backs to the NFL. I don't really have a big concern at running back, honestly, but you did lose your top 2 guys. But when I look at the roster and I see the running backs that this football team has, I get excited. I think Jabari Small going to have a big season, big time season. The hype behind Jalen Wright, I don't know that he works his way into any kind of rotation this season, but the hype, the excitement, the athleticism when it comes to Jalen Wright. What about a guy like Tylen Evans, a guy that we really didn't even see what he could do this spring because he was limited by injury, but when he was coming in through the JUCO route, there was a lot of hype and a lot of excitement. So what's he going to look like after fall camp? I'm excited to see what Tylen Evans can do at the running back position. So yes, you lost your top 2 guys, but that's 4 players in the top 15 alone that Tennessee lost when you're looking at roster attrition. Now, on the flip side of that, we can look at, like I said at the beginning of the video, I feel like Josh Heupel did a good job bringing guys in. Obviously Hendon Hooker arrived before Josh Heupel took the job, but adding Javonte Payton at wide receiver from Mississippi State, a guy with speed, a guy that I think is going to work his way into the rotation immediately. We can start the conversation about the quarterback position. That's not really what this video is about, but he obviously went out and got Joe Milton for a reason. Tennessee put out the roster. Joe Milton is listed at 6'5", 244 pounds. All the athleticism in the world. Can he get it right between the head? We'll find out. But a couple of guys that I think that can make an impact immediately, and that's DeJoun Terry and Caleb Tremblay. What are they going to do? How are they going to help that defensive line? I look for a lot of people to be talking about DeJoun Terry, the transfer from Kansas, before the season is over. But when you scroll down the list of players, how far down do you have to go? How far down? Look at all these players. How far down the list do you have to go to find the first transfer that Tennessee got. Yeah, we're still going, guys. All the way down to number 97 before you find Juwan Mitchell. So when we talk about Henry T and, his lackluster performance as a sophomore, the guy that we are looking to be a leader, the guy we are looking to replace him, Juwan Mitchell, is ranked 97th by 24/7 Sports. What does that mean? It's a bunch of numbers. We'll find out this fall. That's the beauty of college football. We'll settle it on the field. But I thought it was interesting to kind of go through those numbers, go through those rankings. Again, the transfer portal is changing college football. You're going to be recruiting multiple times a year in different aspects. High school kids, current players, players in the portal. It's changing the game. You guys know the deal. If you haven't done so yet, please smash that like button. Also, leave me a comment. What are your thoughts, not only on the transfer portal in general? Do you think it's a positive or a negative? Because look at the Josh Heupel era. Just started, just underway. I think the transfer portal allowed him to reshape this roster so that Tennessee has a chance this fall. But how do you think he did? What do you think of these rankings? Drop into that comment section. Let me know. That's going to wrap it up for this video. If you want to check out the official Talkin' Vols merchandise, the link to that is in the description below. I'll also drop it in the comments. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin' Vols. But this is the Talkin' Vols Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
The songs how like me, poets sat in our chains, soaking moonlit